what's bothering you in the world of sports. Give Murph a call at 312-644-6767. That's 312-644-6767. And tell him what's beefing you in the world of sports. What's Your Beef is brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering.
It tastes better. Murph with you. And time for What's Your Beef? Best beefs, as you know, win a trip over to Brown's. Lunchtime beefs, Brown's. How about an Italian beef? How about an Italian sausage right now at Brown's? Hey, there's 50 locations. Pull over to the right. I see one just up ahead. Put those together, the beef, this Italian sausage, and they call it a combo. It is delicious, and it's the Chicago way that you grew up with many, many years ago, or that you've heard your dad, your grandfather talk about. I can't find the beefs anymore like when I was a kid in the city. I can't find the Italian sausage. Hey, Brown's found them, and they have them for you. I know the combo is the favorite of the president of the Browns, Frank Portillo. Let's go to the phone lines. What's Your Beef? And at the top of the hour, I have a lot of Cubs notebook yellow pad talk left over from the weekend. Fred, and I want to thank Ed Obradovich and Doug Buffon did a great job breaking down the Bears night game. Murph gets those preemptions when the Bears play night games. Let's go to Fred from the north side. Frederico.
Hey, Murph.
Hey, Fred, what's your beef?
Man, my beef is running backs running out of bounds when their team's trying to take the lead just so they can maintain their 1.5 yard per carry average.
You know, it's amazing, Fred. And we're going to visit with Hub Arkish tomorrow or Thursday because Hub usually comes out with me on Monday. Fred, it wasn't isolated either. It was the week before, and it was a couple times this week when good old number 32, Cedric Benson, won't take on a 175-pound cornerback, will it?
No, not at all.
That's a good beef. Thank you, Fred. Joe's in Blue Island. T. Joe, how are you, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Murph?
Hey, man, what's your beef?
My beef's with all these sports commentators and sports guys that are comparing Tony Romo to Brett Favre.
That was, yeah, go ahead.
Brett Favre's a Hall of Famer. I mean, it's hard to make that assumption when the guy's only hasn't even played a full season yet.
Well, I think one of the sort of the tongue-in-cheek lines that John Madden kept using was, well, Brett Favre, he's an older Tony Romo. That was a joke, of course. If you watched Romo last night, and what a game. Did you catch any of it? He had 5 interceptions, but you have to admit, he moved him down the field twice with about a minute to go to win that game. But there's a long way to go to be the next Brett Favre, as we well know in Chicago, Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see any of that game last night? Did you catch it?
Oh, yeah, I didn't see the end. I couldn't wait up, but...
You wouldn't have believed the way Romo marched them down. Then they hit 2 points for the 8-point touchdown. The onside kick goes their way, and then he moves them down, and there's a 61-yard field goal to win by 1 point. But Dick Duran did the sneaky move, which I think should be illegal, calls that timeout right before the snap, and then the kid nails back-to-back 61-yarders. Joe, you missed the best part of the game. You probably had to get up for work, right?
That's true.
I got you. Joe, hey, I like your beef. Hang on, buddy. I'm going to send you over to Browns. What do you say?
Oh, thanks, Murph.
You got it. And Joe, don't forget, Browns taste better. Murphapalooza. Let's catch up on a few things. Full bank of phone calls. Everyone's got beefs. Everyone's going to Browns. Did you know Browns has one of my favorite things, the $49 football party special? Here's what you do. You have all the guys over for football this weekend, college, pros, and you find the nearest Browns. Go to brownschicken.com. You call in advance, set up. Hey, I need a $49 football party special. It's the best of Browns, the Browns chicken. You get the mustacholi. You get the Italian beef, the Italian sausage, the French bread, the peppers, the giardiniera. You build it all. You're the king. You have all your friends over, and you say, hey, you know what? I'm treating you guys. We're eating football-style Browns $49 football party special. Feed the guys. Set it up now. Place your orders today. Sports Radio 670. It's Murph. 25 minutes nonstop sports. More next on The Score. CUBS. I got a couple new ones here over the weekend. Completely useless beyond September.
That works for me.
Choked under the bright spotlight. Kim and Elgin. George, it never ends.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, but next hour we're going to have plenty of Cubs talk. You're invited to stick around at 1:30. George Hoffman, 4 times during the Murph 2-hour Gab Fest. Let's get back to the phone lines. What's your beef? My friends at Browns. You know, my favorite thing at lunchtime at Browns is, I've told you this for years now, the Maxwell Street Polish. You can't find Maxwell Street. They moved it over here on the near west side, but you can always find an authentic Chicago way Maxwell Street Polish for lunch. Grilled onions. I love the yellow mustard. All the great side odors at Brown's. How about Superfan Dan, our super salesman? He loves the meatball sandwich. Bloop! Another big meatball just fell out of that toasted French bread roll right onto Danny's $500 silk tie. We all got to get into sales. Northside Scott's next on the score. Hello, Scott.
Hey, Murph, how are you?
I'm fine, Scott. We're beefing today.
Yeah, I got a good beef for you.
All right.
Hey, how about the Chicago Tribune here? Okay, they're trying to delay the sale of the Cubbies. They're talking about actually having them part of the next year when the new ownership should actually have control of that team before the start of the new season. Number one. Number two, let me just say this. They bought the team in '81 for $20 million. Now I'm hearing reports in print that they're talking about $1 billion.
Right.
Why don't they just sell the damn team and let the other teams or the other conglomerates, whoever's going to win the bidding process, have the team so they have nothing to do with that team anymore? And I'm telling you, you can tell I'm a little checked off.
No, you're exactly right. In fact, I'll jump in with you on this Northside, Scott. What about the commissioner who spent the whole weekend on his little PR trip around radio waves here in Chicago? It makes me sick. And in all the newspapers saying how great he is with the attendance, when everybody knows that the only reason baseball ever got straightened out was when finally the owners crumbled and stopped insisting on a salary cap, and the owners finally agreed on some form of revenue sharing, which is what the NFL has always had first and foremost. But how come the commissioner, to answer your question, your beef, Scott, why doesn't he step in for the best interests of the game and say, we want this Cubs sale, Mr. Tribune Company. We want this orchestrated either right now or wait another year till next November, December. But not to hold everybody, including the great fans, hostage right now. Is that sort of what we're saying?
That's exactly what I'm saying, and I'm still ticked off about the Cubs, the way they went down on Saturday, the whole situation. But the Tribune shouldn't even be involved with it.
You're a winner. You're exactly right. Sell the team now. And where's Bud Selig when you need him? Never. They're hiding under his table in Milwaukee, telling everybody how great it is. You're going to Browns. I'm going to hook you up, Scotty.
Thanks, Murph.
Hang on, buddy. Scott's probably going to get an Italian beef and an Italian sausage and say, give me a combo. Or he could say, I want that Maxwell Street Polish or the meatball sandwich. Bloop. Another one just fell off. How about the Browns' $49 football party special? I've been telling you about it. Have all the fellas over to your house for college, for the pros. Go to brownschicken.com, find the nearest Browns to you, and look at what you get. $49. You have everybody come over. You get the chicken. You get the delicious, famous pasta. You get the Browns Italian beef with the gravy. You get the Browns Italian sausage. You get the French bread rolls, the peppers, the giardiniera. You are king of the kitchen at home because you just lay it out on the card table and you dish it out to your buddies. Steve's in Grays Lake next. Hello, Steve.
Mike Murphy, how are you today?
I'm fine, Steve from Grays Lake. What's your beef?
There's a lot of good beefs. It could have been the Cubs losing. It could have been Rod Turner's play calling. But I have to tell you, because I'm a diehard fan of the family, Skip Carey not being allowed to do the games on TBS and being passed over for that knucklehead Dick Stockton, who was calling Rodrigo Ramirez and Alfonso, whoever he called him, Soriano. That is just absolutely terrible. That the guy who's been working for your organization for 25 years, broadcasting games when the Braves were in the middle of nowhere, when they finally get the opportunity to have the playoffs on their network, they pass the guy over for Dick Stockton. Just terrible.
Well, I'll say this. Dick Stockton was brutal. Dick Stockton was horrible, and what other adjectives, he was embarrassing. Now, that being said, Skip Carey is, I know you'll agree, an acquired taste, and he's beloved, in Atlanta. He does have sort of he has a very slow style. It doesn't really appeal to me, but if you had to pick one or the other with Stockton, Skip Carey's a slam dunk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Steve. I appreciate it. Beef Lions jammed as always. Let's go to Dave from the southwest side of Chicago. Hello, Dave.
Hello, Murph.
What's your beef, buddy?
My beef is this. All right, the Cubs have probably had someone scouting Arizona and a few other teams probably since the 1st of August. All right, it looked like the Cubs had someone. They didn't start scouting Arizona until September 24th. By the way they played, and then when I find out, I'm teeing this one up for you, and all you got to do is finish it.
All right.
When I found out that the Cubs' lead scout for the Arizona series was no other than Ed Lynch, you got to be kidding.
Yeah, we called this about 2 weeks ago when it became apparent that the Cubs might line up with the D-backs. It did appear that there was very little authentic scouting that was done or viable scouting. I'm sure Ed Lynch was out there with a yellow pad, 81 home games. He lives in Scottsdale. He's still on the payroll, and he supplied Lou Piniella, it appears, with not a whole lot of inside information.
And Ed Lynch is still on the Cubs payroll.
As is, at this moment, Mike Quaddy and a lot of other ball players that will not be, I predict, back next year. 1 o'clock, we got plenty of Cubs talk coming up, some new fresh angles. Everyone on hold, final round of phone calls for What's Your Beef, my friends at Browns. Lunchtime, Beefs, Browns, 20 minutes to 1, and you haven't had lunch yet? Pull into Browns. There's 50 of them. There's one just up ahead. Beefs, sausage, combos, Polish, and meatball sandwiches and the fixins at Browns. It tastes better. 40 minutes right there, nonstop sports talk. More next on The Score. Murph, driven to you by Chevy Drives, Chicago.com.
Everyone apparently in the industry knew that the broadcasters, Harry Carey and Milo Hamilton, had a major beef with each other.
What's your beef on the home stretch? Hey, 1 o'clock, plenty of Cubs wrap-up and future talk, and Bears and much, much more. Let's get back to the What's Your Beef lines from my friends at Browns. You know it tastes better. And did I mention the jumbo buffalo wings? Big taste, big wings, and they are flying off the shelves. I say they're flying off the shelves at Browns, the jumbo buffalo wings. Matt's downtown Chicago. Hello, Matt.
Hey, how you doing, Murph?
Fine. What's your beef, buddy?
Yeah, my beef's with Steve Stone. I was listening to him this morning on Mike North's show, and he had the nerve to say that the Cubs did not have the revenue stream to keep up with the spending of the likes of the Yankees and the Red Sox. This is a team that sells out their tickets in January. They own the radio station. They own the TV station. I don't care if they have to pay $30 million for A-Rod and $20 million for any other player. It's not your money, Steve. Who cares if it's backloaded contracts?
Matt, I would also invite you to phone. Steve Stone will be on with me Thursday at noon. We'll open up the phone lines, and let the record show, Matt disconnected me from downtown. Stoney will be with us at noon. I would also like to echo an email I just received here from Michigan, Mr. D.C. James. Murph,